Hey everyone, welcome to my review of Life After Lockup, not to be confused with Love After Lockup, Season 3, Episode 34. It is the season finale. And I was just like, this is one of my favorite shows. I want to talk about it, so let's do it. So, again, this is the final episode for the season. Child, love after life, life after love, whatever. Life is over, honey, with all these messy ass couples on this show. The episode opens up with Chevelle and Quaylin. Girl, this was cray cray. They pick up where they left off the last episode with Quaylin going through Chevelle's phone, and he found out she went on a date with another dude when they was on a break. They get into a big fight. Chevelle hollering in the bedroom, I gave you my all and I kept you happy. You say I didn't keep you happy? Get the F out of here. Quaylin calls her a nagging and complaining girl. They end up outside arguing like a ghetto ass couple. Child, I've been there and done that. Ain't doing that ever again. You all just end up looking crazy. Anyway. And then you the one that looked like you got pie in your face anyway. She ends up throwing in his face that everything he got on, down to the drawers she bought him. SMH. Girl, you don't do that. You never do that to a man. Just one of those things you can't take back. And trust me, I speak from experience because I did it before. And it was kind of dumb and silly. You know, I learned throwing stuff like that you bought in your face, like things you bought for a man, it's like spitting in your own face. Because guess what? You bought it. Anywho, she looking like boo-boo the fool with that. Bye. Quaylin walks to his truck and Chevelle walks to the truck while he's in it. And this is the truck that she bought him, mind you. Again, another dumb move, but we'll talk about that later. Chevelle walks up to the car and demands Quaylin give her back her cell phone. Quaylin refuses as he sits in the car, and then the argument gets even more heated when Chevelle accuses Quaylin of using her. Like, duh, no shit, Chevelle. He calls her a nobody from the car, and then he pushes open the door, bumping bodies with her. I was like, okay, aggressive much, Quaylin? And he walks to the street and slams her phone to the curb. OMG, what an opening scene. And then it ends with the sound of Popo, sirens blaring, child. But did y'all peep that he said before he got out the car, it took me 6 months to finally say this. And I guess that she was a nobody, that she was a non-factor. I was like, what a mess. Next, we get Christiana and her sister Tara meeting up in a park to discuss if Tara been effing around with Christiana's husband. I'm like, this episode is getting messier and messier. Christiana says she heard from their mother that Tara been messing with John. Now, mind you, they sisters. She heard creaks in the bed and noises from the back. Tara denies any wrongdoing, but admits she stepped up as a mother figure and admits she became a wife figure. And then admits there was some flirting between her and John. I'm like, girl, why you lying? Why you always lying? But the funny part is that Christiana is like, well, my husband told me y'all didn't flirt, so now there's a problem. But I'm thinking in my head, girl, well, wait till you find out they actually did do something. Talk about single white female syndrome, more white on one violence at 11. I was gagging at this scene as Christiana got upset with her sister for flirting with her husband, when she ought to be more upset that they probably more than likely slept with each other. But what do I know? Next, we get Marcelino and Brittany, my favorite couple in this episode, or my favorite couple in this series. But in this episode, we finally get them, and they're in the wilderness at that damn family cabin. Let me just say publicly that I love this couple. Might be my fave. Marcelino is such a good husband and father, from what we can see, and I just love how he supports Brittany no matter what. Just love them. Gotta put that out there. Anyway, they busy in Talcatina, someplace with lots of trees and leaves, girl. I don't know. I ain't never been there. The topic of Brittany's mother comes up, and Marcelino expresses to her that her mom has taken up space in their marriage. I'm like, ooh, we finally got some drama again with these two. Brittany shares that she wishes that someone would fight for her when she was young, and that's why she's fighting for her mom. And Marcelino is not trying to hear it. He feels her mom is a grown-ass adult and she can make her decisions. Marcelino got a point. He says she's only acting good now because there's no booze around. I was like, ooh. Mars asks, what is the plan with Cynthia? Brittany agrees that if Cynthia checks herself into rehab, that the plan is for her to complete the program so she can stay around the family. And if she doesn't complete the program, she is washing her hands of her. I was like, okay. I like this, coming up with a plan. Next, we see Amber is looking for Puppy and her supervisor can't find her. Amber is pissed because she got Puppy this job, and Queen is on the phone with Amber saying Puppy is MIA child. Amber arrives at Puppy's place she's staying at, and all she see is booze around that place. She starts screaming, goes into the back and sees the pool and starts screaming, Puppy, Puppy. Then we go to the next scene in Virginia Beach, my home state, with John and his friend, and they in the car, and John shares that he feels like using. I'm like, no, John, don't use. I'm like, damn, John, Lacey must have some bomb, you know what, boop, because all he been talking about is Lacey all damn season. Anyway, and we didn't even see them in the scene. John checks himself into a methadone clinic. Let me just say this. If John ever cleaned himself up and stopped using drugs, he'd be one little all right mofo. He got a little nice swag to him, but that drug and jail-ish makes him ugly. Lacey reads a letter she got from John saying that it's over, and Lacey crumples up the letter and throws it in the trash. Okay, we'll see now. Then we see John in confessional crying and saying he nauseous. Child looked like he was about to throw his brains out. He looked like he killed right over. I think he just started puking. And I know that methadone is no joke. John was like, it's the methadone. I know it's no joke because I used to live in New York, and my cousin used to work at a methadone clinic in New York. And some of the stories he used to tell me, that methadone does something on your body because you're trying to cleanse out that poison from the other stuff. Anyway, I will say one thing though about Shane, because they in the bedroom now. Lacey is in a bedroom with Shane. He's painting a baby room. They definitely, Shane, he loves him some Lacey, and he's doing whatever to keep his family together, and I give kudos to Shane for that. Next, we see Sarah at this eatery with Malcolm, and he's grilling her, and if she's still sleeping with Michael, Michael, what you think? You really need to ask that? Michael asks why she asked to meet him, and Sarah clarifies that she's grown and she could do whatever she wants. Okay, Sarah. She asks if Malcolm is cool with no strings attached kind of joint, and Malcolm admits that won't work for him. The situation is sticky, what he called it, and he will remove himself from the situation. I'm like, oh, he's removing himself from the situation. Malcolm said, I can go get me a white girl anywhere, girl. It's Rochester, New York. He didn't say that, but I said that. My thing with Sarah is, you know what you get with Michael? So you still complain either way. You either going to accept Michael for his ways, as we're going to see later in the episode, or move the F on. But it's irritating that you keep trying to make him something that he's not. Anyway, we see Michael with his new boo, or AKA sponsor. He went back to chocolate this time, I see. And, he likes alternating back and forth. Well, F that. He'll sleep with anything probably as long as he got a puss. Next, we see Shane doing the gender reveal, and Shane shares he wants a boy, and Lacey's like, I want a girl, blah, 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 typical man, woman, gender-ish. And then they reveal it's a girl! Now back to the pool drama with Puppy and Amber. Amber clearly drunk and naked, and her eyelash coming off. What a hot mess. Puppy keeps losing weight every episode, y'all. Y'all be peeping that? Let me know down in the comments. And again, I keep forgetting. Like, share, and comment. Subscribe. Yes, we're going to make that part of the whole thing. I keep forgetting to do that, but that's okay. Puppy keeps losing weight though. Let me know what y'all think it is, because I don't know. I keep looking at her like, girl, you really getting skinny. She looked real skinny in this episode. And ain't no keto diet that works that freaking quick. Amber goes off on Puppy for neglecting her job duties, and she tells her she is done with her. Amber tells her she loves her while she clings to a bottle of booze. That shit was hilarious. Amber says she is done and drives off. Puppy tells her she will stop drinking and takes a sip of her bottle and throws the bottle in Amber's direction. That was a mess. She couldn't even break the damn bottle. I was like, girl, what you doing? Next, we head to LA, where Andrea's getting ready for her B-Day party with her Mormon sisters. Andrea's planning an African traditional B-Day party. I had no clue you was African, Andrea. All you do is talk about your Mormon stuff. Anyway, next we see everyone gather on the rooftop with Lamar and the kids share Shantae will be there, which is a nice touch. Very nice job, Lamar. Andrea walks out calling herself the African Queen. She wearing all white. She looks all right. She looks kind of cute. Michelle talks to Andrea and says her other friends are calling her clothing out and saying she is not acting Mormon enough. So we getting ready for drama with it. Andrea starts talking to her friends, and they admit her dress was missing the Mormon underwear garments, and they were wondering what kind of underwear she had on. I'm like, oh, damn, y'all all up in the puss like that? Okay, Mormon. Andrea then calls them out and asks, when was the last time they took a family in need groceries? I was like, oh, okay. Well, when was the last time? Andrea basically G-checked them hoes and told them mind they business, and I was here for it. Andrea then gets into a conversation about poverty between Utah and Watts, and Andrea tells them they don't know about living in fear, and she starts blowing up on their ass. Meanwhile, Lamar watching in the corner with a grin. That shit was hilarious. Child, then Andrea started getting loud, and the lady too. Girl, truth be told, I never cared for any of her Mormon friends anyway, so Andrea, we could get rid of them. Bye. Anyway, they just come across as judgmental and unrealistic to me. I'm not here for them. Next, we see Cynthia in the car with Brittany, and Cynthia says she wants to do the outpatient and not the inpatient. And that's not a good sign as they approach the rehab center. Anyway, we have to speed this review up because this was a 2-hour episode, not including commercials, 90 minutes. And I don't got time to analyze every damn scene. Y'all got things to do, and so do I. Next, we pull up to Orland, California, not to be confused with Orlando, child, with that messy ass Destiny. And she walking out of the courthouse with a new husband, Jason. And child, she gagged us with her new husband and ring. He looks way better than Sean, though. Then he started talking, and he sounded normal, like WTF. I'm like, her crazy ass bagging a dude like that had me looking at myself like, what's wrong with me? Anyway, he could be from the Looney Bin. We don't know, maybe he's a little cray-cray. Who knows? But we get official confirmation that she used Sean, which we already knew. Ain't no clearer message than what she doing right now. Next, we back in the creepy park with Christiana and Tara, and she admits her and John almost kissed. And it's irking me because she's like slowly walking to the part they were in bed together. It's like, just admit that y'all was doing a thing. Then Chris slaps her, but it was like one of those silly, weak slaps, like from the Young and the Restless slaps. And then Tara reveals Chris slept with her ex-boyfriend. Child, just messy history. Messy. Whew, Chrissy says, well, you weren't married. I'm just like, at this point, y'all both even now. Finally, tag you're it. Back to Quaylen and Chevelle. Child, mad Popo arrived. Showed up, and both of them got in their respective cars trying to defuse the situation. Popo was like, no, demand she pull down her window to talk to them, and then we hear the producer tell her to not drive because she was trying to drive off on Popo. Was like, okay. I'm like, first of all, they supposed to state why they questioning her, though. They would just like pull your window, like for what? Anyway, they then threaten Quaylen with jail time for smashing her phone. Popo leaves and Quaylen starts bitching about Popo. I couldn't take Chevelle seriously with that leotard, though, walking down the street and chasing him. Oh, God, it looked like a sip and paint party exploded all over her ass, on her. Anyway, she keeps following him down the street, still screaming and yelling, guests waiting for more Popo. And then the scene ends with her shoving him and the producer yelling at her. Child, it was getting crazy. Next, we see Lacey giving birth at the hospital. She gives birth to a baby, Summer Rain. So pretty. Shane arrives at the hospital and the baby is very cute. Next, we see John going on a date, meeting this new girl. Finally, yes, John, moving on from Lacey. Thank you. John definitely has a type. She looks like Lacey with blonde hair and makeup and boobs. Next, we back on the rooftop with screaming Mormons. Child, what a mess. Ain't this a B-Day party? Andrea says she doesn't want to talk to that lady again. And after some tears, the lady comes out and apologizes to Andrea. And the lady asks to hug Andrea. And Andrea, without missing a beat, tells her, you can hug me, but I'm not hugging you back. I almost died. Andrea, you a kiki. Andrea announces to the family that they're going on a mission trip to Ghana. There goes your underwear. Next, we see Amber meeting with her ex Sammy, and she reveals she moved out of Puppy's mom's place and into her own place. Okay, Amber. Then we see Puppy all sad and rejected due to Amber leaving her. But then Puppy reveals she peeped Amber talking to her ex Sammy. Next, we see Christiana grilling John about Tara. I married you. That is where I want to be. John, that is not a denial of you sleeping with her. And then you keep repeating that line that you cheated on everyone in your life. Like, that's not a vote of confidence, John. Anyway, he admits she tried to kiss her, but that was it. Moving on. Next, we see Brittany mom deciding to stay at the rehab, so that was good news. Maybe not. Chevelle still cursing and screaming in the street, and is hurt that it looks like it's over between her and Quaylen. Child, she should have listened to her cousin. He kept trying to tell you. Girl, we could have been told you jailbait is not the look. Definitely not the way you went about it, Chevelle. Like, you wait till he comes home and you see him show and prove. Then you do some things if you want. But you don't come out buying a man a car, buying him clothes, No. Anyway, we get a preview for the new Love After Lockup during this commercial break in June. Child, more messy ass folk. Bring it on. Next, we see Michael finally back in town, aka Rochester, with Sarah and the girls. I don't know, but this scene, Michael looked extra stoned. I'm like, what the F? And then he walks all slow and talks all slow and deliberate. Like, child, put some Visine in your eye and eat some Doritos. Anyway, he proposes to Sarah with a ring, and she asks why. Sarah tells Michael they need to talk first, but she does seem kind of happy about the ring and the proposal. Next, we see a montage of their history, which has been a lot and a lot of girls. And then he's in the car as they leave the park with him and the girls, and he proposes her. Fake proposal. And he's in the car by himself, and he gets a call from Maria, his ex, and she's asking him where he been. I'm like, here we go. Then we're back in Orland with Sean and Destiny, and Sean is on the phone with his ex-fiancée, Destiny. She is back in prison. What a shocker. She then asks him to send her more money, unmitigated gall of her. Oh my God. Like, I need her to teach me a class on how to get money out of these dudes because she is like a master class watching her. However, to her dismay, she gets a chop because that plan does not work. Sean tells her, "You're not getting no more money. The bank is closed." Then Sean gets another inmate call, and this time it's a new chick, Sarah, and she gets out in a month. What a moron. He gets all that he deserves at this point. The season ends with Scott being single, him and his Botox lips. Lindsay facing jail time. Shocker there. She was going cray-cray anyway. Amber is dating her ex. Puppy is single. Chevelle and Quaylen are speaking again. John and Christiana are working on their marriage, but she ain't speaking to her sister. Michael is back in Miami, not surprised, with Maria. So much for Sarah being his wife. Marcelino is a full-time dad, and Brittany is pursuing a field and peer counseling. Cindy did not complete rehab. She's somewhere in the streets of Vegas, girl. Lacey and Shane are taking care of their new baby and kids. John has moved on with his new boo. Andrea Lamar going to Ghana. And Destiny is still locked up. And her booking pay, girl, every time you locked up, you blowing up. Like, girl, I need you to come out of jail because you just be looking all kinds of cray-cray when you go in jail. And Sean, he messing with that new girl. What a moron in a mess. But that is my review of one of my favorite series, Love or Life After Lockup, Season 3, Episode 34, I believe. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comments, please comment down below, like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy my content. Just me, being me. Later. Bye.